Hey guys, welcome to FunNGun. Not gonna lie, this wasn't really the video I was planning on making today, but since my Insta360 Go 2 here let me down, I only ended up with a few good clips from today's IDPA match. Figured I'd go ahead and use those to make a video I was planning on making anyways, which is gonna be me talking about my Bul SAS TAC 4.25 here, and what I think about it after owning it for a year. Well, just over a year. I believe I picked this gun up in May of 2022, and since then I've put about 2,500 rounds through it. Yeah, it's not a whole lot of rounds for some people, but hey, there ain't nobody sending me free ammo around here, so that's where we're at with that. So let's go ahead and walk this here gun open, show you that the mag's empty, chamber's empty, nothing in this gun, no ammo on the table. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the magazines here. These are very well made mags. You got an aluminum base plate and a steel body. It's a 19 round mag from the factory. You get 2 of these with the gun. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one more mag here and show you that there actually is 2 variations of this magazine out there. I found that out after ordering more mags, and they sent me the silver ones here. They're actually the same thing. They're both 19 round magazines. Both are well made. This one's a little more beat up. As you can see here, it's skinned up a little bit, but it's held up well. This is actually the mag I start with in the gun when I shoot IDPA, so it's been dropped more than any of them I have, and it's just barely skinned up, so these mags hold up quite well. So go ahead and get into a few things here on the gun I've changed since I had it. First one being is I went ahead and put the factory Bul extended magazine button on there. And the reason I do that is because I don't have the biggest hands, and as you can see, I still can't reach it, even with it being larger. But the way I actually reload a gun, or a handgun that is with my support hand here, I'll come down and hit the button as I'm going down to get a new mag. And the reason for the bigger button here is it just makes it easier for me to find it with my thumb when I'm coming by it. Now I will say I've never had any problems carrying the gun with this magazine release, bumping it into anything, hitting it on the holster or whatnot, and dropping the mag. But as you'll see here in a second, this can be a problem, like if you have this sitting on your nightstand or something. Because today we actually started with the gun in the box on IDPA, one of the stages here. Let me go ahead and show you this. With this extended magazine release, when I went into the box to grab the gun, I pressed in on it a little bit, just getting a good grip on it. And as you can see there, it ejected the magazine. And when I pulled the gun up out of the box, this is what I seen, was the mag was just barely hanging out. And as you'll see me slap it in, take the safety off, and continue shooting the gun. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert that clip right here. Okay, so as you can see, extended magazine release. If you're going to shoot this gun in a competition, that could be a problem if you need to pick it up off the table, or like I said, if you got this as a bedside gun, you're going to lay it on the table. You may not want to put the extended magazine release on there, but for me, I hadn't had any issues with it other than that today. So let's go ahead and take this magazine back out of the gun here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the other thing I've changed on this particular gun. As you can see here, it's got a silver flat-faced shoe in the gun now. This is a factory part as well. It's also the short version of the trigger shoe. Like I mentioned before, I don't have the biggest hands, and I thought that was cool that you could do that right off the bat from the factory. Just go ahead and order that part. And to do that, you're gonna fully back out your over travel screw, and you can just push your old trigger shoe out, insert this one. You're gonna put your over travel screw back in there. And I will say, you gotta make sure you set your over travel properly, especially for a carry gun. You want to make sure it's going to go off every time. So you'll have to mess with that and then Loctite it into place properly. Just want to make sure you do that right. And they actually offer this in a small, a medium, and a large. And they offer it in curved as well. And it comes with a medium curved trigger installed from the factory. Well, this particular version of the gun did. Not a bad trigger pull, but I like a flat trigger shoe. And I just went ahead and put the small one in there. And as you'll see in another gun I'm going to go ahead and show you here, that it mimics this one's trigger pull quite well. I'll go ahead and show you this particular gun is unloaded as well. This is a Chet Whistle 2211. These are custom built guns that you can get through him. And the cool thing about these 2 guns is they both share the same grip angle, and they're both, this one's undercut, double undercut, and so is your Bul here. So when you go to shoot these two guns side by side, you can pick one of them up, pick the other one up, and since they both have a Hollison red dot, this one's got a 507, this one has a 508 on it. They both, when you point them, you almost feel like you're shooting the same gun, even though this is a 22 and that's a 9mm. That's really the only thing you can feel difference is the recoil of the 9mm over the 22. So these guns, if you're looking for like a gun to use as a practice gun for competition, you can actually pick you up a Chet whistle here, and you can shoot it quite a bit cheaper. Now the gun itself's not going to be cheap. This gun actually costs more than the Bul by quite a bit, but it's, like I said, a full custom gun. And I'm going to go ahead and show you, like I said, this one's unloaded. This gun has an excellent trigger. It pulls at about 1.5 pounds. And I actually got the chance to mess with an Atlas Gunworks today, and the trigger on it felt very similar to that. Now, your Bul here, like I said, it's unloaded. Has a really good trigger on it too. It's just not quite as light. Right there, just got a little bit of take up with it, and then it breaks. And let's go ahead and show you the reset here. The reset on it's pretty awesome as well. Just a little bit right there. Real positive reset, and it's ready to break again. These triggers, they say they break it around 3.5 to 3 pounds, and I say it feels about like it. And I really wouldn't want it to be much lighter than that. I wouldn't want this style trigger on the gun I'm going to carry, and I do carry this gun quite a bit on the weekends, and I'd say that's about as light as I'd want it to be. Just a personal preference, I guess, on that. Now, another thing I thought I was going to not like on this gun when I first got it was the grip safety, because on other 1911s I've had problems, like I said, with my hand size, being able to properly actuate this grip safety to get it to where I could pull the trigger. And with this one, the gun being hand fitted and everything the way it is and properly tuned, I hadn't had any issues with that being a problem, or with that since I've had the gun. Every time I grip the gun, it just, excuse me, it actuates and works properly. And your 22 here actually does not have that, but that's something that I thought of when I got it. I was going to have pins so I could shoot the gun without having that problem. But like I said, it's been properly tuned, and the way you grip this gun, it works just fine. So another thing we're going to go ahead and move up here that I like about the Bul here is it actually comes with the mounting plate from the factory. Other brands such as Staccato and even the Atlas guns, you have to buy this plate. It can be $100, $150 extra, and it actually comes with the Bul here. And it's set up where you can mount your Hollisons or your Trijicons onto it. Now, I don't know if they make other plates for this. That would be something you have to look on the website. I'm not 100% sure, but you get one that mounts those two particular red dots from the factory. And I went ahead and put this has got a Hollison 508T on it, like I said before. And the reason I went with the titanium on this one versus just putting the 507 on it is I figured I wanted it to be a little bit more durable for a gun that I carry, just in case I bang it into something, which has actually been pretty nice on there, because you know you do end up banging it into things every now and then. But let's go ahead and talk about a few things I don't like. A couple of them just minor things, and then one of them's a pretty big one. So the first one is kind of wish they had done something a little bit different here with the barrel here. I will say everything around here is well fit. I like how the plunger for your what's this right here, your guide rod, actually fills the gap in between the barrel and the guide rod. It just looks like it's a real clean finish there. But I kind of just wish the barrel was flush with the end of the slide. Just kind of go ahead and finish that off. I like how this is cut right here, just gives it a cool look. But that's one thing that not really a big problem. It's just kind of a gripe, I guess. Kind of just something that I wish they had cleaned up a little bit more. Kind of just made it look a little cleaner. But now let's get into the 2500 rounds. I have had a few jams. One of them being with your Blazer aluminum here. No ammo on the table. Like I said, this is an empty box. But when it was real cold outside, I did get one round that didn't fully chamber or eject. I can't remember which one it was, but I'll probably go ahead and attribute that to being cheap ammo and cold outside and aluminum reacting different to the temperature. That was one of the only jams I've had with the gun. And then the other one, and this is the one that really kind of irks me about the gun a little bit after having it, and still really like the gun, but this is something I was shooting HST in it, and this is the ammo that was in the magazine that I was carrying, and I was going to go ahead and cycle it, put some fresh rounds in it, and the one in the chamber actually went off just fine, and was expecting it to go ahead and cycle, but when it cycled, it ejected the case and then didn't pick up, and it ended about right there. It stopped, a little bit of a gap where you can see that it was empty, and it was completely locked up in that position. Didn't matter how hard you banged the red dot or anything on anything trying to get to unlock, or you couldn't take it apart. It was locked up. Something in the linkage, I figured, had got trash in it, just got out of the line, and it locked it up. And I didn't want to just bang on it and beat on it too much. I didn't want to avoid the warranty, so I figured I'd go ahead and send it back to Bul and make sure there wasn't nothing wrong with it and whatnot, and have them take care of it. And I did, and I will say they were real easy to deal with, and they sent it back quickly and whatnot. But the part I didn't like about it was they pretty much took the gun in, told me there was absolutely nothing wrong with the gun, and put it back together and sent it back to me. And well, now that I know that it can lock up, and it has locked up on me before, still really like the gun, still carry the gun, but brings me to this right here, and this is another gun here which is also unloaded. This is my P365. It's got a Wilson combat grip on it and a flat face trigger, different few things on it. And this is a gun I carry a majority of the time, this little pocket holster. When I carry this gun, I now carry this as a backup because that has me a little iffy about the 2011 platform. The idea, just in case, I'd rather have a gun that, if this one's locked up, I like to have a second chance, I guess. Now I want to go ahead and talk about a few other things I've had people ask me about, is what holsters I use. This is a Black Scorpion Staccato P Duo Pro IDPA competition holster. So the Staccato P or the Duo holsters do fit. They're cut for the red dot. Go ahead and show you that right here. Fits in there just fine. This one's set with a real low retention, so I'm not going to shake it around. You can tighten it up, but as you can see, it fits perfectly fine. So this is the one I use for IDPA. And as for a carry holster, I have a Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.2 or 3.5 here, and I've cut this notch out right here and actually changed the bushing that goes on the screw to a small one and sanded it down to where it would clear. So this is a custom fit holster to the gun, as you can see there. Fits it very well as well. This is a Staccato P holster, not a Duo. It didn't have the red dot cut because Alien Gear don't make a whole lot of holsters that have that cut, but you can make it work. And so I like these holsters. They're not very expensive and they're pretty comfortable. So I just went ahead and got one of them and modified it to work after I found out that it did fit the Staccato holsters with the one here. Now as for magazine holsters, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure of the brand of these. I got them off eBay and had to modify them quite a bit to make them work, because these aren't your standard 2011 style magazines that work in your Staccatos and whatnot. These are actually a little bit bigger mags, and as you can see, those fit in there really snug. And I've actually pretty much done everything to this magazine to make it as large inside here as you can. I changed a few more things on it. I went ahead and put a quick release belt clip on it because I don't mount it onto a tactical belt of any kind. I just run it on a ratchet style belt. But if I can find a link to these, I'll try to insert it into the description, or I can take a picture of it where I ordered it, and that way you'll have what the information of what that's called, because you can make these work. You're just gonna have to be willing to sand a few things down, cut the screw down, adjust a few things, or if you really just want to, you can just order holsters. They're made for the gun, but hey, to each their own. I just figured that worked out for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut to a scene of me shooting it a little bit more today, and then I'll come back with the gun disassembled and show you a little bit more about it.
You ready? Who's ready? Stand by. Stand by.
Okay, as you can see there, it's a real fun gun to shoot in IDPA, and I'm not going to lie, this is actually the gun that actually made me like shooting IDPA and started having fun with it. Especially started shooting carry optic with the red dot there. But now we got the gun disassembled, I'll go ahead and show you what kind of wear it's got on it since I've got it and put it, like I said, around 2,500 rounds through it. As you can see, your recoil assembly here doesn't have hardly any wear on it at all. You just got a little bit of shiny spots on it where everything's cycled over each other. So no notable wear there. Your barrel as well has a few shiny spots where it locks up. This is a bushingless bull barrel, so it locks up straight into the front of the frame there. The slide, my bad. And as you can see where it locks up right here in the top, all that's a little bit of the less shiny, I guess, than the part here that doesn't get rubbed on by the slide. And it's actually a tapered bull barrel to allow for it to lock up properly. So no wear there that's not common to shooting the gun, I guess. But go ahead and talk about the slide here. It's also, you just got your standard wear on your slide rails and around where the barrel actuates and where the rounds feed. Same thing on the frame here. It's just starting to polish itself out, so over time it's just smoothing itself out. Really well made gun. Like I said, not a lot of slop in this gun. Really like this gun. The only thing, like I said, that irks me is the fact that it locked up and they wouldn't tell me that there's anything wrong with it and or change anything on it. They just sent it back to me. So other than that, really like my Bul and figured I'd go ahead and show you what it's like having one of them for a year and my thoughts on it, and that's all I have for you today. Okay, if you made it this far, I just want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're looking for more FunNGun right now, you can click one of the 2 recommended videos there. If you're looking for more FunNGun later, you can go ahead and click that there subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it. And if you're finding me from Facebook, go ahead and click that open app button at the top to make all that a lot easier, and I'll see you next time.